We can't let it show off its abilities here either. I don't want them to know what it can do. No matter what happens, I want us to keep it surrounded until the right moment. Hidari, move and stay on the right side of the competition area. Joruga, stay at the back, and I'll stay on the left. I want this to be quiet and discreet. The two move out. They know to wait for my signal. When the time to move is right, we can't let ourselves be seen by the audience. If only I brought enough soldiers, they'd quickly sweep the area and keep the spectators away. I could order them all to leave, but I won't be able to make sure none of them sneak back to see what could happen. I look up to suddenly see a flock of lops fly by the stands. These are long streamer-like creatures that come in a variety of colors. Usually lops only fly with their own color, but this flock is made of one of every color. Such a rare sight draws the attention of everyone here. I'm being given an opening to get closer. Of course, I wasn't told to bring more soldiers because I won't need them. I send the signal on my comm device to my guards, and we all run to the trees. Hidari has the most distance to cover, needing to get to the other side. Fortunately, the long body of lops are very wide. It's as if they're a curtain blocking the audience from seeing us. I make it to the trees at the edge of the competition grounds. The other two signal back that they're also in place. Here I can wait without being seen. There's an old stone wall left from ancient times amongst the trees, and I take my place behind it. I can hear what the contestants are saying from the other side of the wall. If we have to put on a performance, did you guys bring what we'll need? I hear the weapon ask. Nah, why go insane trying to make sure you have every little thing? Their leader responds, and he thinks he can get the better of me. You two aren't worried about that? Vayne, relax. We've planned for this moment. We know what to do, their leader replies. You look nervous. Vayne, do you get stage fright? I hear a female ask like she's playing around with it. These rogues are like animals, talking to a weapon like it's a person. I'm also shocked to hear the weapon talk like a person. Just what has Udo created? Normally, no, it's just this crowd is huge. Looks like there's over 1,000 people watching us. We were told there's over 2,000 people here. Also, this is being broadcast to the entire nation. That was another female voice. A familiar one. Okay, so what do you know to do exactly in this situation? Asks the weapon, and I start going through my pocket to take out my knife. This is a unique weapon made with our laser technology. The edge of the blade emits a CO aura, just as our lasers. I'm able to stab into the stone wall, creating a hole for me to peer through. I can see the female that just spoke. I didn't pay much attention to her before, but now I can see her closely. I can see that she's the same breed as Raiga. Her face looks the same. She even has the same voice, except she talks without the cheerfulness Raiga is known for. Raiga never told me she had a twin. I'll need to speak with her about her sister that wants to overthrow me. We wing it. I've always gotten by with just thinking on my feet. Besides, when the physical challenges start, you'll be our secret weapon. The team leader says, and it makes me even more anxious. Of course, it's already shown its powers to these people. Now it's going to show off its abilities to the audience. I'll need to have everyone here killed. I take out my comm device and send an alert to Tanzu. But stop, since it'll take him over a day to get here. Team 3 has moved. I run down the wall, being covered by the trees so no one can see me here. I stab a new hole in the wall to keep watching them. That settles it, everyone, Rogio shouts from the platform. Sadly, Ukyo and Nugura failed to answer correctly, so they won't be helping their team in round 2. Now it's time for Team 3 to step up. That's us. Let's do it, the team leader says as they walk towards the platform. While turning around, the weapon notices my eye through the hole. We make eye contact for a moment. I move back, not sure what it's doing. Vayne, get ready, the older-looking team member shouts. I hear the weapon walking away. That was close. I need to be more careful. Sounds like the leader has pulled the lever on the dispensing machine. Team 3 will have to build us a statue. But not any statue. This one must depict the explorer Pioma in the pose she made when she discovered the Volgoma Mistlands. Pioma, a famous Lorita historical figure. She was an accomplished explorer who led a team that discovered nearly a third of Lorita. Your team will have 40 minutes to construct your statue using any material nearby. I can hear Team 3 rushing into action. I look through the hole to see their leader. The older one and the other female run back into the temporary shelter where the teams store their things. They must have left Raiga's twin and the weapon at the edge of the platform. I can't see them from here. I hear a lot of noise coming from the shelter, and soon the three of them come running back carrying various metal pieces and parts. It only takes them 32 minutes to make their statue, and the crowd erupts at how well put together it was. I assume the two odd ones didn't help at all, as it's very unlikely either of them would know what Pioma looked like. The contest goes to intermission, giving the audience a break and time to think. Before the next round, they'll all vote to see where each team stands. "You took parts from our craft!" I hear the leader of Team 1 shout at Team 3. "Yeah, thanks for that. It helped a lot," the Team 3 leader responds. "We can't go anywhere without that craft. If we don't get back into the government's protection, we'll die out here. We were never cut out to be rogues or renegades." "Exactly. That's why we took it from you guys. You all seem way more pathetic and weak than Team 2. We knew you weren't capable of hurting us." After that, Team 3 walks past Team 1, and just as they said, Team 1 does nothing. "Sorry about all that." "The weapon just apologized." "That means it isn't a weapon. It's a person. Udo, why did you create this? You passed this thing off to me as a weapon. You lied to me." "When I get back, I swear I won't waste time with the disciplinarians. I'll find him guilty and have Pobata sentence him right away. His record of success won't protect him a second longer. He's supposed to be making me weapons, so why did he make a person?" I spend the remaining time of the intermission trying to figure out what Udo's goal in doing all this was. My thought is broken by Rogio announcing the start of the second round. "Welcome back, everyone. We have the results, and after the first round, the audience is favoring Team 1. Their performance was of a high quality. In second place is Team 3, and 2 is in third. But it is hard to impress when they got one of the duller challenges. Let's see if they can ingratiate themselves on the second round. Let's have the first two teams step up to compete against each other." "All right, team. Be ready for when it's our turn. Let's win this and then take it to Saiten," Team 3's leader says before the other teams walk towards the platform. He can think whatever he wants, but I'll have him ground into jam by next week. I can see through the wall that the device they were using is being removed using its hover base, and a wheel is being brought in and onto the platform. "I'll now spin the wheel to see what challenge Teams 1 and 2 will be competing in." I can hear Rogio spin the wheel. "Looks like we got ourselves a Grizz shooting competition. Bring out the targets," Rogio shouts, and though I can't see from here, I can tell that they're setting the people up. "What's a Grizz?" I hear Vayne ask his team. "They're criminals who have been incarcerated for life," the female quickly responds, and I find Vayne's reaction fascinating. "What? They're going to shoot people? Like, kill them?" He cares about them? Strangers who've committed heinous crimes? "Vayne, these people are repeat offenders," says the older-looking member of the team. "Of what? Are they murderers?" "Some are, but you can become a Grizz by committing any crime enough times." The older one finishes explaining, and Vayne continues to look upset by this. "What if they were framed or wrongfully imprisoned?" Vayne shouts, and the others don't respond, because it doesn't matter. If someone you care about is wrongfully arrested, then there is an opportunity to help prove their innocence. "This isn't right. You can't just go around killing people, especially just for fun. That's sick. What kind of society is this?" "It's a successful one that's existed longer than you humans," the female one tells him. The competition starts, and the contestants start to fire Kobas at the Grizz. The moment Vayne hears one of them scream in pain before falling to the ground, he turns and runs towards them. Is he actually going to try and stop it? "Vayne, stop!" His team leader shouts as he and the other members of the team, aside from Raiga's twin, tackle him to the ground. "If you interrupt, we'll be kicked out and become Grizz ourselves." Their leader shouts and they hold Vayne down, but after he hears the cheers of the crowd following the weapons fire, he manages to squirm free, and I'm confused by him not using his powers. Vayne runs out past the trees and into the open area where the teams are shooting. "My name is Vayne, and what you're doing here is sick. It doesn't matter what these people did. You shouldn't find pleasure in killing your own people." What kind of person has Udo made exactly? Such a strange one. I can't foresee any benefit of him existing. The crowd starts booing at him, and he just returns to his team. I'm not leaving Mectra until I find a way to fix this. All of this, he says to his team, trying to hold in his anger. Vayne, if you care so much, why don't you go save them like back in Iwacho? Raiga's sister says to Vayne. I want to, but after what happened in Iwacho, I'm not sure what the right thing to do is anymore. Sounds like something happened in Iwacho. I'll need to look into that.
Since Team 1 lost to the shooting challenge, the audience now likes them a little less. Can they win your love back by competing against Team 3 in?
Rogyo then spins the wheel to select the next competition.
A Lorita favorite, a rigmarole hunt.
I jump and make a run for it. I know exactly what's going to happen. I dive behind some bushes as the staff arrives from the stands to hide the rigmaroles. I'm forced to awkwardly hide myself behind the trees and continuously move around to keep from being seen. There's no path to get out of here without being seen. Was I warned about this? Did I miss the message?
Alright, now the two teams will scatter throughout the trees, where 25 rigmaroles have been hidden. Whichever team collects the most rigmaroles wins.
The members of the two teams spread out. They're now all around me, and I have to remain hidden. The seats and boxes are lowered back down below the tree line, since this event takes place amongst the trees. Somehow I'll have to hide myself from all these eyes, as will Hidari.
Let the hunt begin!
Rogyo shouts, and now the contestants are searching. I can see a branch of a nearby tree waving to me. I'm being told to hide behind it. I'll have to move gracefully and swiftly to not be seen. As the hunt goes on around me, the plants move to hide me as I make my way. I catch a glimpse of the hunt. For this game, each player can hold only 2 rigmaroles and must take them back to their container before finding more. This game was created by children thousands of years ago. The adults enjoyed watching it, and it became a yearly tradition in most regions. Since this is a children's game, these adults are embarrassing themselves in front of the audience, which is part of the entertainment for them. Rigmaroles are red, round machines that resemble the animals they are made to look like. Children play with real rigmaroles, but for this game, they've been replaced by machines on a timer to simulate when a rigmarole wakes up and starts bouncing. These machines are much harder and far more dangerous. They need to be put back into the container before they activate. Clearly, no one on Vayne's team told him about that. He's been holding onto that one for too long. The rigmarole in Vayne's hand starts to spin at a high speed before launching itself off his hand and strikes him in the face, knocking him on his back. All the other rigmaroles that are still hidden now activate and start flying around, bouncing off the ground, trees, and the other contestants, with enough force to fracture bones and picking up more speed with each bounce. The thick branches of this tree move to block the rigmaroles from hitting me. The contestants now have to grab the rigmaroles out of the air. They jump onto the branches and then into the air to grab them. Vayne sits up on the ground, looking around with panic and confusion as the rigmaroles fly around him until one hits him in the chest, knocking him back down. I watched the Team 3 leader catch one that was rocketing right towards him. That was an impressive catch. His hand must be in a lot of pain. The match carries on with team members catching the rigmaroles as they bounce off any surface or person nearby. I continue to be protected by anything around me. The competent members of both teams catch the rigmaroles, quickly putting on an impressive show of agility, acrobatics, and strength. Both teams now have 12 rigmaroles, and there's only one left. That's now flying over the trees. It starts to come down, and the Team 1 leader jumps up a tree and jumps off it, reaching out to grab the rigmarole out of the air. "You're the lightest!" Team 3's leader shouts, grabbing Vayne from the back of his gel clothing and throws him into the air. Now I know why Udo made that compelling argument to give Vayne gel clothes. Vayne reaches and grabs the rigmarole right after the Team 1 leader does. The two fall while holding onto it, and once they hit the ground, both teams pile on top of them. Several seconds pass until the Team 1 members start bleeding due to the ability of Raiga's sister. The pile of people spread out, and that's when we see one of the Team 1 members is missing.
Kinano just delivered the last rigmarole to their team's container. Team 1 wins!
Rogyo shouts, and the entirety of Team 3 looks puzzled. None of them noticed that one member got away, and I must admit that I didn't either. The members of Team 3 just seemed shocked, but are taking their loss well. I notice that the female there is still smiling. Does her expression ever change? The teams move back to the shelter at the back of the grove. After seeing that performance, I can rest assured that something is wrong with Vayne. Something is keeping him from using his power. I don't need to worry about the world seeing it.
Due to Vayne's outburst, Team 3 is being scored far behind the other two by the audience, and Team 1 is in the lead. We'll give these last two teams a chance to make up and win you over.
The wheel is removed and replaced with a giant dartboard. Hirogio looks away as he throws the dart to select the next event.
Our next event between the two lagging teams will be a Durgrud hunt. Let's move to the Durgrud nest.
With that said, the platform raises up and floats away, followed by the stands that roll off following the platform. Teams 2 and 3 follow in their crafts, while Team 1 has to run on foot. Hidari and Chiruga meet up with me, and we start running to catch up while making sure to stay out of sight of Team 1, who runs ahead of us. By the time we get to the nest, the competition has already started. There is nothing out here to hide behind, so we sneak back into the stands and get back up to the box. I'm not sure how to proceed. I need to observe Vayne more before I make my move. I storm back into the room, everyone looking at me, but I ignore them. I look out and almost laugh at the sight. The Durgrud nest is a massive mud pit. A Durgrud is a huge creature with a serpent-like body a mile long that's 40 feet tall. They're all dark brown with black spots that have yellow borders on them. They have a weak spot on the base of its head segment. If stabbed deep enough, you can cripple one. The 10 contestants there have each been given 2 harpoons connected by a thin chain on the ends of them. They've also been given a pair of mud boots. Mud boots are used for gliding across areas of wet soil. They suck mud in through the square holes on the front of the soles and eject it through the holes on the back of them to propel the wearers. Hilariously, it looks like no one taught Vayne or Raiga's sister how to use them. The two are slipping and falling on the ground. This is drawing a lot of laughs from the audience. It might actually help their team win, even if they lose the hunt. The other members of Team 3 and all the members of Team 2 are already on the Durgrud's back, as it thrashes back and forth trying to throw them off. They all hold on by stabbing their harpoons into its back. They each move towards the weak point by carefully pulling themselves by stabbing as they walk. We all see the beast is about to finish straightening its body out, which is what it does before it starts rolling. All the contestants jump off except for the Team 3's leader. He endures the weight and pressure, showing he has a very powerful body. The ground being soft also helped. Seeing their competition held on seems to have Team 2 on edge, and they start attacking Team 3. The elder member and the other female are attacked and try to defend themselves from 3 of Team 2's members. The other 2 move to get back on the Durgrud while ignoring Vayne and Raiga's sister. The Durgrud starts to thrash all over the area. The 5 who are fighting have to scatter to avoid being run over. The 5 then stop fighting and chase after their prey. The Durgrud turns around and raises the front half of its body before slamming back down on the mud, throwing everyone off their feet. Only the Team 3 leader is close to winning. Hold on. The Team 2 leader hooked one of his harpoons onto the Durgrud and is pulling himself up. The Durgrud starts shaking wildly. It must have absorbed enough air by now and is ready to return underground. If both teams let it go, that'll be such a bad look for them, and Team 1 will win instantly. The Team 2 leader reaches the leader of Team 3. The two have a fight that ends with the leader of Team 3's foot slipping, giving the other an opportunity to shove him off the Durgrud. Though he was thrown off, his harpoons were left behind, stuck in the animal's body. The Durgrud raises its head and dives down into the ground next to Raiga's sister. She's so close to it that it'll pull her down with it. That's when Vayne reaches out, grabbing her tail, and I see it. The white marks on his body flash red for a moment, and he pulls her to safety. He can use it, but he's only barely using it. Not that it matters now. By pulling her out of the way, he's now in her position. He's caught in the flow of mud next to the Durgrud and is being pulled down with it. The head of the Durgrud is now fully submerged, as is most of Vayne's body. He reaches out with one free arm, desperate to grab hold of anything. What he grabs is the ankle of Team 2's leader, just as he was about to land a killing blow on the creature. Vayne's attempt to save himself have now resulted in sealing another's fate. The two are pulled under the mud with the Durgrud. Has the issue resolved itself? Then why was I told to come here? With members missing, Team 1 is declared the winner, and everyone soon leaves. I demand Gaho and his people leave. Now it's the middle of the night, and I, Hidari, Joruga, and Maruden are standing out here at the edge of the Durgrud nest. Sir, we've been standing here for hours, and you haven't said anything. Marudin asks, and it has gotten late. I would have left by now, but I saw the 3 pieces of fruit fall from the same tree landing in the same spot. I understood what I was being told. Vayne is down there, alive, and he will resurface. Once he does, we'll take him. I also can barely make out Raiga's sister over a mile away, sitting at the edge of the nest on the opposite side. She's been crouching over it for as long as we have. She must have faith that he'll return. Marudin, call the pilots and have them bring the authority over here. I have a feeling this won't take much longer. I say, watching a large flying mopsis catch and eat a Jewy out of the air. Yes, I'm being told that I'll be able to take Vayne back very soon. Just then the ground starts to rumble, and the entire Durgar nest explodes, completely changing the landscape. Giant spires of mud shoot out of the ground in every direction and harden. I can't tell what's going on. I can't see Raiga's sister. I can't see Vayne anywhere. Is he even here? Mekdra didn't tell me this would happen. Chapter 8. End.